Hi, um, my name is David. Probably know by now. I'm basically here to 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 talk about the topic around school tech and you know the whole buzz. My mic is out. The whole buzz about giving up, not giving up, keep going, and my personal experience. I have been okay now. So just to prove to you that my experience is valid, is I have been a student all through my tech career for the past 2 plus years. Even before I officially started designing, I have also started learning code from tech and being a student at the same time. And here's one thing that stood out is it is possible. And that's the first thing I'm going to talk about here. Is it possible to remain a student and also not be backward in tech, remain a student and also be in tech at the same time? Yes, it's possible. I have been a student since 2020, 2019, around the same period of time where I started learning how to design and code, and I'm still a student. I would talk more about my own personal experience and the advice I gave myself, because it's part of the three things I want to talk about. Is it possible? How and why should you do it? Give up or drop out? But you should ask yourself the question of why exactly are you giving up? You think three, four projects that you have potentially going to finish before the end of this year would give you the biggest money you ever have in your life? If that's the motivation behind giving up, you think the 1 million naira project that you are working on, 200K project, 500K project you're working on, is the biggest you can ever come to have as a designer? If that's the case for you, if you think that's the case for you, then it's probably not possible for you. But if you know that being a designer is something you want to do for like the next 5 6 years, why don't stop and think that what's in school that you can't handle? Like what's in school that you finish once you are done, once you finish your undergraduate, you collect your degree, you tell your parents they are literally not doing anything again. You tell them you can choose to do masters or not. You can tell them, or whoever is sponsor, if you are sponsoring yourself, fine. You tell them that you can stop it and not go again, and you are done for the rest of your life, or to skip just this process 4 5 years, regardless of the ASO strike, skip the process for the next 3 4 months in between, right? Skip it and focus on design. That you are not going to stop. Yeah, you are never going to stop designing except you decide you want to give up. You are going to design the next 2 years every fucking day. You are going to design for the next 6 years more than the school day every fucking day. You are going to design for the next 10 years because you want to be an expert every fucking day. So what do you prefer? It's possible for you to think it, but you should just make that decision in your head. How much will it cost you to give up 500K projects or 1 million naira projects and focus on how you can manage both ways? You don't even have to give up on the project. And that takes me to the second thing I want to talk about is the how, and if it's possible, and like should you do it. Now this is a personal decision you should make, and this is a personal decision I had to make myself. I had to ask myself, is it possible that I can be a designer and also go to school at the same time? Yes, right. But then how do I make the most? I have a mentor, Peterson. Funny enough, to me that was my guiding north star, because he graduated from the same school I'm going to, just a slightly different department. I'm an electrical engineering student, he's a computer engineering student, and he came out first class. So, and he's a back end dev. And within that same period of being in school, he had two jobs, right? He got his first six-figure gig in the same period of time while still being a student in his final year. So, like, someone is running two jobs, being a student, still graduated first class. To me, that was my guiding north star. That okay, all I needed to do was find my way around it. And this is my way I found around it was sacrifice. You see the meme going around with Drew's eyes, so many other designers that they do post kind of your pictures, and you think it's probably just a meme that people are like, "Sir," it's a legit thing. What are you ready to sacrifice? And that's basically, what are you ready to it's all sacrifice. What are you dropping on the table? What are you giving away? And Chris Doe also mentioned this in one of his many sessions on YouTube. He said that as a student, there's something you have to do is you have to be ready to sacrifice a certain lifestyle for another one in the next 3 4 years and weigh the difference. First of all, you check your variables. What are your advantages? What are your disadvantages? What do you have to support those advantages? What do you have that would increase the disadvantage that you are going to have? And that is very important because you have to sacrifice one. Now, some people are in school and they are willing to sacrifice the this is my own opinion, right, and how I view things. So you are willing to sacrifice a modest lifestyle and quote unquote boring style of living in their school days, just 5 years, and rather have a more extra lifestyle with a lot of parties, a lot of drinking, a lot of sex, a lot of fun, quote unquote, because they feel if they don't do it now, when next they do it. And then there are these other people that are willing to say, no, I'm not going to sacrifice a modest lifestyle. And, you know, I am rather going to sacrifice the lifestyle of, if I don't have fun now, I may never have fun again. It's fine by me. But I'll rather just live peacefully, quietly, and have the quote unquote boring lifestyle. And that is fine. It's a trade-off. You have to think to yourself if that's something you can handle. In my case, I was open by the time I got into my 300 level first semester before the break. I was already thinking to myself, what am I going to sacrifice? What am I going to give up at this point in time? Would I give up still going to watch football, following my friends to play football? Will I give up playing games? Will I give up attending extra events at school? Is that something that I was ever interested in? Is that something I would stop so that I would just focus 100% on going to class when there is class and going to my laptop every single day? So you have to also calculate variables like, are you the one paying part of your fees? Do you need to support your education? Is that money a primary issue? Now, before people be like, "Hey, it's a private school." Yes, it's a private school. But then, by the time I got into my 400 level, I did myself started supporting a chunk of my own fees, right? My own livelihood and my own school fees myself. That's not for this topic. So I do have responsibilities that I took over. It's a federal school and you certainly have it cheaper, so you have to start weighing all that costs for yourself. Those are like your advantages. Are you living in the hostel? Are you not living in the hostel? Are you staying off campus? Are you not staying off campus? Those are variables you have to check for yourself. What supports your best mood of working? What supports your best chances of managing school and tech at the same time? If it's possible for you to move out, get a new place where it's only you, would that help support you focus more on school and just tech at the same time? Fine. If you think, okay, you're in a hostel and the people where you gather there around are going to tech, is that going to help move you forward? Is that going to move you, you know, a bit forward every single day? You have to make those tiny trade-offs. People, you have to let your friends, you have to let the people around you understand that life is getting real and this is exactly how you want to move forward with it. And it's simple. It's everybody will definitely understand. They will know that you have come back. You spent 8 months at home. If somebody was pregnant, they would have given birth. And I think those 8 months you made productive life decisions for yourself. You moved into tech, you started design, you started a career for yourself. Kudos, you deserve an award. Awesome. But all these things you are doing is for yourself, not for the people you are sharing room with. For yourself, for your immediate family. That's the bread. That's like the highest of the say priority of people you are doing anything for. It's for yourself and your immediate family, and that is it. So you tell your friends that, okay, this is how it is right now. I have a career. I have 3 projects, 4 projects I'm working on. I have a full-time job at the same time, and I want to be able to meet up to all these things while still moving at school. If is it possible for you to do 3 projects at the same time and still go to school? Is it possible? If it's not possible, you start laying them one. I'm sorry, I can't continue with this. I have. 500k is not the biggest money you will make in design. 1 million naira is not the biggest money you make in design. It's probably big now because it's a very short period of time. You're seeing it, it's wowing you, but it's not the biggest you will make. So, what trade off are you ready to give for the next 4 6 years of your life, of your fucking life? If you tell somebody that you need an extra hand and you're going to reduce the pay you're collecting, let's say the money pata pata is 500k on that project. Let's say no 600k on the project. It's easily divisible. And then you said you can't handle it and you want to reduce, the amount of money you're collecting just so that another designer joins you. And they say, they can't employ somebody else, so you just cut from your pay. Fine. You slash your pay to 300k too. Another designer takes over the projects. You do that for two other projects you're on. You still have money for yourself, and for God's sake, I'm just trusting that you are going to a federal school. You still have money for yourself, Abby. Even if you are going to a private school, your parents are already going to sponsor part of it, not everything that you are going to do yourself. That's if you are even sponsoring your school fees, or it's just a soft lifestyle you are looking to live. That's just part of it. You still have money for yourself. If it's your full-time job, you come straight. I have a school activity I have to attend. However, I want my working situation to change. I want to be able to deliver my ticket. I will not be present 9 to 5, but when the tax is given, I will deliver within the period the tax is given. You come to conclusion, talk to your manager, talk to your PM that this is how it's going to be, that you don't want to cut ties, you don't want to retire, you don't want to resign. You still want to be able to deliver, but your working situation will change. And that's basically how it worked for me. The company I was working for at the time knew that I was a student. Are you ready to deliver based on the ticket? You get a ticket, you get a tax, deliver within a week, deliver within 2 weeks. And then within that period of time, nobody's expecting you to be around 9 to 5. They're expecting you to reply emails probably in the night. They're expecting you to reply Slack message in the night. But you will deliver your tax before that day, which is fine. And if you can get that done, can get that out of the way, get that sorted. Nobody's expecting you to always, even you that are working remotely, ask yourself, do you sit down and work 9 to 5? Or you press phone, design for like 4 hours straight, finish the design, then press phone again? You should think about it and weigh your cost, do your analysis. What do you spend most of your time doing in the day? If you go to class 2 hours, you have class throughout the whole day, you finish by 5, you go to your house, have a shower, rest, eat, you wake up 2 hours later, maybe say it's 5 by 5, 6, 7, you wake up by 7 or wake up by 8, you're already eating, have your dinner. No waste time, don't waste time on social media, don't waste time on any other thing. Don't go and I'm not telling you not to go and watch football match. If that's your passion, of watching football match is your passion, good luck to you. It's not for me, and it was never for me. You spend your time, sit down and start working. You work from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 hours of concentrated work. I'm telling you, but finish that ticket or you go a long way. By the time you finish, you stay an extra 1 hour, 2 hours, you browse social media from 12 to 2, you go to bed, you wake up the next morning by 4 p.m. You started working on a second project from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 hours of working, concentrated working. 8 classes will start 8, class starts by 8. By the time you move to class, you are sitting there in school. Anytime they are talking or there's no class, there's probably class is not going on, or they tell you the class has been shifted or been cancelled, you bring out your paper, you already have a design in head for that third project that you want to work on. You start sketching the design first immediately, and then you know that okay, this is the sketches. By the time you get home, you know the next thing. 5 p.m. From 5, you have your shower, you eat lunch, you sleep, you wake up by 8, you do the same thing again. You build a routine that works. You do not give space for distractions. Like, you intentional about it. It's your fucking life, for God's sake. And exactly how that works. You don't have to give up. You don't have to quit tech. You don't have to quit pursuing the quote unquote passion that you have, or for any other reason that you think it's possible you don't have to do that. You just have to find a way to remove the excesses that take up your time and fixing a more concentrated, like more tightly knitted routine for yourself, and you will get there faster. You will still be able to do it. And the advice I gave myself at that time was, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, is how bad do you really want it? School has started. You have a tech career you have built within the period of school's absence, and now you are looking to trade one for the other. Must you trade one for the other? Okay, even if school has started, school is choking. What are you going to do about it? What's what do you have to do about it? And this is one thing Peterson did tell me. He said that if you can be able to manage school and build a tech career at the same time, properly talk about it to recruiters or PMs, you will notice that people appreciate you for being somebody that can multitask, which is something that they appreciate even more in any working situation. You use that to your advantage. If you That means you are being able, you can multitask in any situation and deliver. That is an advantage to yourself, not to anybody else. So looking at that, I'm like, that was part of the things I did take out. Is, do I want to turn out to be someone that I can build two things that can be the career for myself as a tech person because I want to give up on school? I nearly did drop out. I nearly did stop going to school because I thought maybe that, for God's sake, it was a 200k project. That 200k project, that 100k salary was going to, keep me going. Like, I did miss out opportunities. Fine, the opportunities that would have given me an extra 300k, an extra 200k, an extra 250k. It's not like by the time I finish school, I won't still get opportunities. I'm still a designer. I'll still get more opportunities. By then, I would have finished. By some of you are at 300 level, 100 level, 200. Even people that are at 400 level, I'm like, do you know what it is for you to spend in many 2-3 years finishing or struggling through school? And then you spend the next 5-6 years without school and you are fully working. Now, that's the time where you have to show yourself, Abby. You have to prove yourself. But whatever you learn between this period of time is going to really affect how you work then. And those are the things I was telling myself. What am I ready to trade off, David? What are you ready to give up? Are you ready to give up going to sports? Are you ready to I was ready to give up that. I wake up in the morning, I go to campus, I sleep there, I come back, I attend classes during the day. That was my routine. I was already going head on. And in my own case, I was in a private school and I had a personal situation that was already tight on my neck, that I had to become responsible for some part of my school fees, some part of my livelihood. It was at that point where I had to do something. So many people are not in that situation, and I'm not weighing down your own like variables and saying, "Oh, your life is easier." We're not doing suffer ratioing here on anything. But then that was the advice I had given myself at that point in time. What are you going to fucking do about it, guy? You have to work times two of every fucking person that you know if at all you want to get there. And that's waking up early, going out. It's basically the same thing. You wake up early. By 4 a.m., you're already buffed, you started project, you design. If it's life that is your problem, I feel there's many ways to sort these things out. There are many ways you can just be resourceful. You are becoming a creative, you are claiming to be somebody who solves problem. You have a problem in front of you, solve it. That's basically it. You have a problem in front of you, solve it. Ask people, do research, do a user case study for if it's possible and how it's possible to manage your own tech career and your own school career at the same time. Trust me, the degree is probably maybe useless to you, to me as well. But then somebody has put you in that position, someone that paid for the initial stage of your school fees before you even figured out you want to do tech. Just even if nobody has, even if you're not in that situation, as rubbish as it may seem, it's necessary to meet people, it's necessary to network, it's necessary to have the experience. You can drop out, but take the stats, take the statistics of dropouts and people who are actually like, just do the stats of people who make it and who drop out at the same time. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. Like, if you're a designer listening to this, if you're a tech person, you always claim to solve problems and think through solutions and think. Ask yourself, you have a problem in front of you, solve it. And with that being said, yeah, I hope all I've said did help you.